I am starting my dream project today and I'm terrified, absolutely horrified, because this has been my dream project for years now. So I have to get it right or else I'm gonna have about 10,000 mental breakdowns. There have been two things I've hyperfixated on my whole life: knights and dragons. And so I want to combine these three things into my own custom set of armor. So first of all, I'm gonna be making my breastplate. I'm a little ambitious with this. Most people, like when they make their first breastplate, it's just to here. I want it all the way down to my belly button to here. For this, I need plastic wrap, and I also have duct tape, or actually art project tape. Because I couldn't find duct tape at Hobby Lobby. This was all they had. I also should probably change my pants to something more form-fitting. Now we're gonna wrap myself in plastic wrap, so I guess I'm just gonna like start. I didn't really explain why I'm doing this. Basically, I'm making sure my breastplate will be fitted perfectly to me by creating patterns with plastic wrap and duct tape. I'll save you the horrible noise of this plastic wrap and just speed through this step. The reason I need this plastic wrap around me is so I can stick duct tape on my whole torso, and sticking duct tape on your normal clothes would obviously be very, very annoying to take off. There we go. All right, so this is my base, and now we're gonna stick a ton of duct tape on it. I need the duct tape to go everywhere, not just, I'm gonna put my hair back, and not just like to my ribs. Gotta go everywhere, baby. Gotta go everywhere. I really don't want this to be a quote-unquote skimpy look. I'm not going for sexy here. I'm going for more scary, because it's a scare acting costume. Did I actually mention that? I don't think I put enough cling wrap over on this side. Gosh, diddly darn it, Nicole. Yeah, so this is one of two of my main characters I'll be portraying this Halloween season. I have an elegant persona and a chaotic persona. This elegant kind of acting is very new for me, and that's what this character is going to portray. But we don't have to dig into that lore yet, because right now I'm sticking duct tape all over myself, and this sucked. Oh, the back's gonna be an issue for me. I just got tape in my hair. I just realized. Ow, ow, ow. Hello? This would be much easier with another person, but I'm kinda sorta hyper independent. Nah, I don't need a +1. I've never needed a +1, and it was going just fine. Until it wasn't. Now that everywhere I needed to be covered was covered, I could move on to the patterning, which is basically just sketching out how the breastplate is gonna look and splitting sections up so I can glue them back together seamlessly later. I didn't have to do both sides, but I did. For some reason. Alrighty, now we just cut carefully. Let's not ruin the shirt. I really like the shirt. This is making me nervous because it's form-fitting. Generally straight. Alright, and that's it. I've got my armor. It should come off generally easily. There we go. This is my armor. Yes, this is it. And now I gotta cut out the pieces and then do foam stuff. This part was pretty fun. Scared the crap out of me since I was essentially destroying what I just created, but it was kind of like putting a giant jigsaw puzzle together. Then after I had all my pieces in place, I swiped it to the side so I could stick my foam down, and it was as simple as tracing the pieces on the foam, then cutting them out. I have something. Here's like the base, and I don't know, it's just everything's a little bit off center. I knew my measurements were gonna be wrong, so I went a little bit bigger with everything, but it's like it's really off. So I'm just gonna hope everything works out, and if it doesn't, I will stick even more foam on top. But now I do believe I try to stick everything together. So this cement's supposed to be real good. It's supposed to make it stick immediately. They lied to me. That really didn't freaking work, did it? I think I'm supposed to wait for it to get like tackier or something. That's probably all I'm gonna do today. I'll probably have to make it back. This is what we're doing now. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Hopefully this works out. I really want it to. It's just, it doesn't look super promising at the moment. But maybe I'm just in my head about it. I don't know. If you can tell, I'm getting a little bit agitated. So I'm gonna let these two pieces dry, and we're going to carry on with this tomorrow. This glue smells so strongly toxic. But it's 30 degrees outside and it's windy. So I'm gonna freeze. But I'm not gonna die in the long run. I'm gonna get the rest of this glued. I'm gonna get it attached to a back because the back should be super freaking simple. It just needs to go around me. I think it's all pretty stuck on there right now. Like I said, it's still drying, but look at this. That looks actually really sick from the inside. This is it. Pretty cool. I don't need as much for the back as I thought I did. I gotta make sure to get all of this glued and added on, and then we can do the fun bit, the decorating bit. I'm very excited for that bit. And then we have, you know, the bracers and the shoulder pad and the knee pads, and we're not gonna worry about that. It's not gonna come together for a long time. I have a feeling I'm gonna be at this for a while.
Look at that. Isn't she pretty? She's so pretty. I haven't put her on yet. I gotta do that.
This is a big chonker, a little messy. I added this little collar thing at the top. And I also found some Velcro lying around. I glued one side shut and then put Velcro on the other side. Collar is gonna have to be cut a little bit. You don't see it right now, but just look at that. I've noticed it's not like fully centered. It's a little bit off, but detailing, I'll just curve one bit in a little closer. I just can't believe I'm wearing this right now. This was what I was most scared of making. See you tomorrow because I'm done with the glue. We are on to detailing now. The last part was a little less stressful. If I make a mistake, I'm probably gonna cover it up anyway. It's just the foundation. Here, this is what's gonna be seen. So I wanna make sure it's really good and it looks really nice. And yeah, we're gonna be designing my breastplate. I'm very excited. I'm very nervous.
When conceptualizing this breastplate, I drew as detailed of a picture as I could to guide me, but a lot of the time what happens with my costumes is I have one idea in mind, I take little bits and pieces of pictures I like, I work with what I have, and then I end up with something quite different than the original design. One thing I really wanted to be obvious from the very start though were the draconic aspects. So I started trying to design a very simple, replicable pattern for dragon scales. Can't believe I said replicable right on the first try. Good job.
Just like make little lining bits as if it were dragon scales. So that's what we're doing. I'm feeling great right now. Don't look at my eyes. Don't look too close into my eyes. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm not wasting away here. This does not, it looks like I've spent 20 minutes on this. This has been two and a half hours of work, and it looks like I've barely done anything, but foam and glue take forever to do.
Yeah, so I kind of blacked out during this process. Throughout a couple of days, I took off the collar, I didn't like it, replaced it, connected ridges, smoothed edges, you know, sanded stuff, all that stuff, and made scales, and more scales, and more scales, and more scales, and scales, and oh wow, are those scales? Oh, crazy. And more scales. And then I gifted my armor the miracle of sight.
I wanted to incorporate like buttons on here, little seam stuff, googly eyes, and lucky for me, I have a lot of googly eyes from a certain other project I may have done a little while ago. I'm using googly eyes for like little buttons on it. Stupid.
So,
God, no. This whole process of gluing on these eyeballs is freaking ridiculous. It looks ridiculous, it's hard to do, and it's just the weirdest, most painful part of this whole thing. It's hilarious. I don't know how to feel about it. Just look at this. I don't know what the hell to do with these little ones. I think I might just have to make a streak on it. This is the most uncanny thing I have ever done. I'm not trying to make something freaky here. This is just what's happening. Look at those. So I'm gonna start on the lacing and like the front breastplate work, but this freaking foam clay, I'm gonna use foam clay for it. I had to use pliers to get it open because it just would not open. It was absolutely insane. This is a very slow going process. I forgot how long this stuff took, but I want it to be good. I want it to look good, so I'm taking my time on it.
Now here we come to the part of my costume I was most excited about, the lacing work, whatever, I'm not sure how to describe it. I really love the intricate, elegant look of these certain patterns a lot of times on corsets and, you know, other pretty things. That's what I wanted to do throughout the whole costume, mainly congregated in this chest area. The whole thing was going to be laced up, but something I definitely wanted involved was a snaking dragon in the center of the chest. So that was one of the first things I did, so I could have a reference for making the designs around it. Since this costume was so dragon forward, I really wanted an abstract dragon at the very center of the costume as a sort of spirit guide, I suppose. It was really cool seeing the figure come together as I worked clay into these large lacing figures. But as these things go, they can get kind of tedious, and while I was doing this, I was still doing something even more tedious.
I find menial tasks to be fun until they're not fun. I was having a good time just like chipping away at this, you know, something mindless. And then I had to make like a freaking 100 because I made a ton and they barely covered like the top bit. It's just taking a really long time. So I'm getting in my head about stuff. I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm having a lot of fun with the lacing stuff. That's really fun for me. I realized the foam has expanded, which, you know, in retrospect makes sense. It just means I have to be more like deliberate with my twists and know that it may look drastic when I put it on the actual armor, but it won't be drastic when it dries because it'll like meld into each other, you know?
I didn't have a real plan as to what I wanted this to look like. I just slowly added on bits of clay and then sculpted them however my tools decided to sculpt them. A lot of times I had no idea what I was gonna do with the clay I globbed on, but as I slowly messed with the pieces, they melded into beautiful and intricate shapes, and it was just so relaxing to not worry at all about how I wanted these pieces to look specifically and just let them be how they wanted to be, if that makes any sense. Now I'm speeding this up a ton, but don't get it confused. This process took a great many days to complete. It's relaxing, but it slowly edged its way up to being tedious. I managed to quell my eventual boredom by making a pretty cool dragon scale spine on the back of the armor. Pretty neat, I liked it a lot. And then it was back to the clay foam until, after hours and hours, I was finally done.
Finally, we are done with this freaking breastplate, or at least the building part of the breastplate. I'm going to mix black paint with Mod Podge.
A fun little jump in here. If you guys want to see this full costume in action, please subscribe or hit the like button or comment something really nice. I have posted a lot of videos. In half those videos, I didn't do any kind of call to action at all because I forgot. And I genuinely think I would have been at 1,000 subscribers by now if I did that. So I'm a little bit mad at myself, but you can help me be less mad at myself by subscribing and sharing, I suppose. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Anyway, back to the video.
I have an idea for all the colors I want, but I didn't really realize the idea in my head was a little bit abstract. I know I want the lacing to be gold, but that's about the extent of what I know I want. So I think I want to get like concrete with how I want the colors, where I want the colors to go. Right, so you know I did say I was going to make some mock-ups and then get going with this, but I think I'm just gonna do it. I found some fun pictures on Pinterest, so I'm just gonna pull them all up. Sorry for not turning off what I'm listening to right now, but that took so freaking long to get this the way I wanted it, and I'm not changing it. These are my reference pictures. This is what I'm doing. And then take from them, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm just gonna wing it. I think I'm gonna get the best product if I just wing it. If I go about making all these different color palettes and meticulously picking everything, I don't think I'm gonna start. Or like, I'm gonna lose my passion for the color scheme and I'm not be able to pick a color scheme. So I'm gonna do what my heart's telling me to do, and we'll go from there. And whatever the product is, that's a product.
As you can see, I decided to go light to dark because I wanted certain parts of the dragon to be bright and eye-catching. So I looked back to my charcoal drawing phase and worked backwards from white to gray to the eventual gold, and slowly, ideas started crowding into my brain for the rest of the breastplate.
So I just took like a step back, and then I came back, and I didn't think it was looking that good, but man, that's pretty sick. That's pretty cool. What I want to do is make this dragon like all of the colors. That's why there's a little bit of that bronze peeking through. I gotta do a couple more swipes through. The edges of everything is gonna be like bronze. That's gonna bleed into gold. And gold's gonna be in like the center. It's gonna be the most prominent color throughout this lacing. But this is going pretty well. Man, I forgot how long this stuff takes. It takes a while, but I'm enjoying it. I forgot how much brain power this stuff sucks up. You don't think you're using your brain muscles when you stand back and just look and you're like, whoa, I'm tired.
So we continue onwards, and while painting the breast bits gold, I realized maybe my plan had to change.
So I actually think I might want to pivot. I really like the look of this black lacing. I had planned for it to fade from the bronze into the yellow all the way around, but I kind of like the fade from the black to the gold. Like I think I might want to keep that. I think that looks prettier.
So painfully, I painted black all over the copper I just had punched in, and definitely liked it more, but man. Anyways, after this, I went to bed to wake up one last time. for the project, not in general, obviously.
Last day of creating the base. I know it's not confirmed to be the last day, but it's gonna be the last freaking day because I really want to get to the rest of this costume. So I'm finishing painting it. It's gonna be completely finished. For the vision I have right now is going to be finished today.
And indeed, ladies and gentlemen, the vision I had for this breastplate would be finished. But that would not be the end vision. While I decorated this breastplate in shining colors and gradients, I knew something about it just wasn't quite right. I admit this video ends abruptly. I kind of forgot to film an ending, but looking at my quote-unquote finished breastplate, I felt something wasn't right yet. I technically finished this video with an unfinished product, but only because I had a feeling I needed to complete the rest of the costume to come back to this breastplate and really tie everything together. And if I made this all one giant video, you wouldn't get it for another month, so we're not doing that. I'm so sorry for the cliffhanger, basically. But the vision I had for the breastplate has been finished. Here. This is it, what you're looking at right now. So technically it's done. If you want to see the next part, then follow. And also, thank you so much to my members for supporting the channel. It means the absolute world to me. You guys are insane, and I appreciate you 10 times, 20 times the world. Yes, indeed. Also, thank you for being one of the OG 1,000 subscribers. If you have subscribed, you're a real one. And I see all of your comments. All of them. All of the DMs. All of them. I'm getting sappy now.